everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. I'm Jason Harmon, and Mr. Doug Markup sitting right here next to me.
Yep.
We are in Studio B in Nashville, Tennessee.
Try not to walk over you this show.
No, last show we had a little competition there in the beginning. Who's going to talk first? Who's going to talk next?
I think we got it down now.
Yeah.
Rhythm's good.
Only been doing it, what, 64 weeks now?
64 or 65 shows. Yeah. There's a lot of great shows out there if everybody hadn't watched them all yet.
Yeah.
Go watch them. Going to have a good one here. We'll introduce our guest in a minute. But as always, we like to tell them a few things that's going on that affect sportsmen.
Yep.
Great bluegill and shellcracker bite going on.
They are biting right now, and it's a good time to shoot some squirrels.
It is. May 13th started the squirrel season. Yes, there is a spring squirrel season. And yes, there's ticks out there this time of year and a snake or two. But you know what? It's all right. Just deal with it the best you can. Spray yourself a little bit. Wear some boots. Go squirrel hunting because squirrels are everywhere. Speaking
of snakes, there's some still that video still on Facebook of that snake and hen battling out.
Hen versus black racer.
Yeah, it was a cool video. It was fun to experience that. And there's always neat things to see out there in Tennessee wildlife.
There is, and now with everybody having a cell phone and everybody having photographic and video ability, there's so many incredible stuff to see out there that we've never seen before. So go out there and watch it. Our Facebook, as we talk about, is rolling really well. It's got a lot of information on it now about upcoming events. A lot of boating classes being taught right now. You don't have to take a boating class. You can just pass a test, but we urge you to take your youngsters born after January 1st, 89, to a class.
Yes.
Let somebody like an Alan Harold teach you. Alan is a boating instructor here, and he's awesome. Mm-hmm. And so are a lot of our officers. So they're being offered. You can learn about them on Facebook. You can go on our website where they're posted, and it's updated all the time. But got to pass that test if you want your youngster driving that boat.
And this is Safe Boating Week. It's winding up, but and check out the safe boating videos we got out there on Facebook this week.
Yeah, you did some good PSA jobs with our guys over in West Tennessee. Some of the officers over there did a good job talking about safe boating. Some good tips on what you do and don't do on a ramp and things that you – I wish I'd known some of the stuff that was told early on. I would have saved some real heartbreak. There's always something with a boat.
Don't tell on yourself, too.
Always. Well, it'd be a long story. If I'd known Bill Dance could make a lot of money doing bloopers, I'd done it a long time ago. So
I figured we could come up with some WildCast bloopers.
We probably can. Just go somewhere and we will.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Mike Bramlett is our guest this week.
Let's say one thing.
Okay.
Commission meeting was this past
That's right.
Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll have more results and stuff from that meeting. Mr. James Kelly is going to be with us next week. Yeah,
we'll get you caught up. James is our deer biologist up in the Nashville office in our wildlife division, is what I'm trying to say. We'll get you all caught up with what's going on there. We want to talk free fishing day and TARP and all that because that's coming on. We got to get you ready for that. Okay. Right. So Mike Bramlett is our guest. Mike is a fish biologist out of Nashville. And Mike, you've been around here, maybe not as long as I have been, but you've been working at the agency for how long now?
I'm closing in on 30.
Closing in on 30. All right. Mike, you do a great job. We were kidding as we started the show, you're kind of a jack of all trades up there. There's so many things that you do, from aging fish, which we want to talk about today, how you age a fish. So, I mean, do you look in their mouth and count their teeth? We'll get into that like a deer. And we want to talk about our TARP program, which we're going to get into a lot, Tennessee Angler
Recognition
program, which is so cool. And you're making it cooler all the time. We got some patches out here we're going to show you here in a minute. And then we want to talk about Free Fishing Day. There's a lot of events going on. In fact, let's go ahead and knock that out, Jason. We'll get the classes up there and show them how to do it.
Yeah.
Mike handles a lot of the information that comes in across the state. And kudos to a lot of the wildlife officers and biologists across Tennessee who are doing an incredible amount. And our hatcheries.
Our hatcheries, the whole 9 yards. I can't just give them enough credit for what they do. Really
working hard to make Free Fishing Day work. And there are a lot of volunteers that help, too, at different events across the state.
Oh, absolutely. And so we got, there's over 240 different organizations, companies.
Wow, that many.
Yes, that's doing across the state, helping with us and any event out there.
I had no idea it was that many.
Oh, yeah, from sponsors and partners and, of giving this, doing that. It's really amazing.
Okay, Free Fishing Day is June the 10th. We want to give you a heads up. It's in the guide.
Page 13.
Page 13, of course. And page 13, it's right there.
That's your lucky number,
isn't it? That's my lucky number, yeah. Free Fishing Day, June 10th. And Free Fishing Day means, by the way, before we get into events, it's free for everybody on public waters. We tend to think of kids because we do stuff. Our events are for kids. Free Fishing Day's for everybody.
That's true.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, these events, most of them, at least 98% are just for kids, and the range is anywhere from 0 to 17 years of age, most of the ones that, we receive and everything. But, yeah, it's free for everybody that day.
Yeah, and a lot of the places where we have events, we're going to show that long list. There's not all of them, but many of them, once the kids leave, they're open for anybody to come in behind them and fish.
That is correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you those kids don't catch them all.
Yeah, most of what we've seen, we've looked at, several over time, and it's somewhere 30-40% at the most that the kids have taken out.
All right. Well, Jason's got up on our screen here, our monitor, the fishing events that you got. Mike, I'm seeing you post every day. Send something to our web person every day. It seems like about another class. Are they still coming in?
Yes. Well, I got one. Let's say yesterday.
A class. I mean, a fishing event.
Yeah. I've got one yesterday, and there's a few. It's sort of slowed down a little bit. I don't expect many more.
How many right now?
We've got 84.
84, and you see across the tab there. Yeah. Region 2, 3, 4, that depending on what part of state you are. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. Now some of these, we've already dropped off because we've started, like for Region 1 started in April the 1st.
Yeah,
let's not event there.
Yeah, let's not confuse everyone. Mike, you put out a list of events that are going on everywhere that are fishing. June 10th is what you're looking for Free Fishing Day, but there's other events going on.
Exactly. I wanted to make that point. Yeah, June the 10th, Free Fishing Day. So,
but
we've got so many others. Like for Region 1, it started April 1st. It goes all the way through October.
They've always done a bunch over there early in Region 1, West Tennessee.
Yes, that's right. And there's a few in a few other regions that are also a little early.
Okay. So, and Jason, click on details there. I want to, where, Mike, what's under details? What can you learn there?
Oh, details, that tells you the time, the start, the rain date if there is one, the site location, who the host organizations, how many participants they expect, the contact age limits, the contact person, and for you to get more information about that event.
Do we know by looking at those, and I'm speaking specifically of June 10th dates now, which ones are going to have catfish that are stocked in the bodies of water?
Yes, we've got, let's see, I think the majority do.
The majority
yes.
of them. Okay,
so for example, out of the 84, 6 of those are trout only in Region 4.
Okay.
So then the other 73, we're providing some catfish.
Wow. And that's our hatcheries doing all that work.
That is true.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an incredible amount of work.
It
on top
is.
of everything else they got to do.
Now let me back up. Now we do a contract to get these fish.
Okay.
40,000 pounds is what we're able to get right now based on the amount
so
of
money.
money.
So we're not raising them, but we're contracted and then carrying them forward.
Yeah, because the fish we have in our hatcheries, they're going to our public waters.
Right.
Agency lakes, the reservoirs, such as that. And these fish here are 1.5 to 2 pounds. So very, catchable, quality size fish. So.
And kids can take them home with them?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, make sure you look at the events on there, the times, because most of them, Mike, I think, in my experience with Free Fishing Day is most of them don't last. They're not 8-hour events. They're because kids get exhausted. They're 3 or 4 hours to 3 hours.
Yeah, right. Yeah, most of them are. Yeah, anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 hours is what most of that you'll see on the forums.
And adults, if you want to go in there after that, make sure it's the lake that's open.
Yeah, and all that can be found under the 4 Anglers tab on our website. So just go tnwildlife.org, 4 Anglers, and 2017 fishing events are right there.
All right, and keep checking because it may grow a little bit more between now and the big day.
Exactly, and there could be some changes. Somebody wants to change or cancel or something like that. We've had that in the past to happen.
So knock on wood for good weather that day. And Mike, I've been working on, I guess Free Fishing Day is getting close to 30 years old. I'm not sure the first year. Do you know for sure? I don't know if it's 89 or not. I was at it, but I don't remember.
You talking about first event?
First Free Fishing Day.
Yeah, I think it was mid to late 80s is my guess. Now, of course, one of our oldest that it wasn't really, I don't know if it was a Free Fishing Day, but the one over at the Commercial Peel, the Mid-South Junior that went on, that's been going on from the late 50s. Now it's moved to Germantown.
I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah, that's one of the oldest in the state. But
that's awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
it's pretty amazing. But
and so people get pretty excited about it, and I had no idea we had that many volunteers going on. So everybody wants kids to get involved in fishing. We need them in the future. We need to give them a pathway to something fun in their life.
yes, getting outdoor, future conservationist, environmentalist, whatever, But yeah, getting out there, having fun, and especially when you get that fish on the end of that line.
I wonder how many.
I've seen the excitement. It's just amazing.
Kids we've introduced to fishing through this program. I hope it's a lot.
Yeah, well, that's something we'd like to. We based on all these forms and getting replies after the events, we're thinking it's somewhere around 15,000 kids are participating in these events. But we want to try to look at something. See what kind of retention or recruitment we might be getting, out of that. Are we really bringing some in, So.
Yeah, well, I hope we are. I know a lot of people are having a good time for a day because, man, you go to some of them are smaller areas and they can only take so many kids. But you go to everyone you go to, however many kids they can take, they're usually there. They fill it up, and some of them are huge, and some of them have prizes, and some of them don't. To me, the prize is getting to catch catfish more than anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't catch very well.
I knew it's coming.
Never mind. Just catching a fish.
I probably could go to one of these and not catch anything. Anyway, but most people do. So good job, Mike, on your part.
Well, I want to give a shout out again to and kudos and everything to our guys out there. Our hatcheries and officers, the event coordinators, wouldn't happen.
It's a lot of planning that goes into Free Fishing Day. The event itself might last 3 or 4 hours. The planning goes on for months.
Yes. Oh,
it does for a long time.
It sure is.
So get out there. All right. All right. Let's talk about state record fish before we get into TARP. All right, because it sort of rolls into TARP, sort of. We can make it work kind of as a transition, but
okay.
But Mike, we have had this spate of record fish come in the last 2 years. Some have been gang fish, some are rough fish. You handle that program, the state record program. What are you trying to do with it, and tell us about the different classifications, an A classification and a B, and what that means.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're trying to recognize, the largest fish, caught by the species that we have currently listed, and there is the Class A and Class B. The Class A is species that are caught by sport fishing, pole and line,
Okay.
Your regular, fishing method. Then Class B is methods other than. And there's about 10 or so, which is like trot line, jugging,
Grappling?
tubbing.
Tubbing?
Have you heard tubbing?
Yeah. I'm not sure how to do a tubbing, but
Well, and
You float in a tub?
and we ain't seen one of those in eons, but it's still there. But anyway, and then there's commercial, some commercial gear that is part of the Class B. So yeah, we recognize, the largest fish that.
do we
been caught.
get some entries in the Class B still? Do we?
Oh yes.
Do we? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
It's probably 50-50.
Well, I'll be darned.
Pretty much. Yeah. We got
Okay.
a lot of people. And archery's the other one that's in that.
Oh,
and that's
bowling,
gotten yes.
Yeah.
Then, how big that's got. So.
That's a cool deal. All right.
Mhm.
So, what about within that? Do you break it down also by gang fish and rough fish?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got your general, your black bass, sunfish, gar, for example, crappie. So, it's, broke down for those species, and then same thing for Class B.
What are some of the records that have been broken in the last 2 years, 18 months, 2 years? What comes to mind to me? And I don't
Just about all of them,
all
seems
of them.
like.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Seems
Well,
like
we already had, we're averaging about one record a month.
That's
And
wild.
We've had 7 already this year. There was 12 for last year, and I think about 10 for the year prior to that. But yeah, muskie stands out.
Muskie does.
The new muskie, but
50 plus pounds or inches.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, don't want to get that. I think it's inches, 50 something inches. Yeah, that stands out. I think it's 40 something pounds, 50 something inches. I saw you.
There it is.
43 pounds.
There it is.
Thank you.
43.
Very good.
There you go.
We need to get him on here sometime too. Talk to
Yeah.
him. So that's a Class A, 43 pound, 14 ounce muskie, and that came from was that Mountain Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that was the Milton Hill.
There's another one that stands out too, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That that broke a long time record there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got a replica, by the way, on here in the lobby. If you ever come to Nashville to our lobby, we also have the state record, the world record deer out there too.
Yeah, world record
up on the
whitetail.
wall. So good deal. Show them one or two other, Jason. Show them a rough fish. What is that big thing, that common carp over there, 53 pounds?
Yeah, that was from Maribone. Yeah. Now, and it's a common carp, but what they call that is sort of a leather. The leather. I used to call it a leather carp. Some of the older folks, and it's because it's lacking a lot of scales. There are a lot of them missing, and it's the skin, but that's just
wild.
Colloquial name that
And I knew John Pepper Jr.
Yeah, that was his son, I think, wasn't it?
That's John Pepper Jr. Yeah, John Pepper Sr. ran it for a long time, and Jr. did before him. And, he was cut over there, and he fished at Maribona Lake because he loved it, and he was there. That's why he was a concessionaire. Good guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, what happens, Mike? Somebody thinks they have
that freshwater drum. That's still the world record.
There's an A and a B
on the left. Benny Hull is a great outdoorsman, sportsman. Does a lot of shows, or used to, over in the Chattanooga area. And he loved. I went to his house once, and he likes to blacken those big. He mounted that one, but he likes to blacken drum, and he's to eat them.
Oh, okay.
So there's stories behind everybody, I guess.
True.
And this Mr. Pruitt there, so that's a freshwater drum that he took with archery equipment?
That's archery, yep. Class B, yep, 29. Matter of fact, that, came in the past, 12, 14 months,
Okay.
I believe.
And all these photographs can be found on...
Under 4 Anglers on TNWildlife.org.
Okay, and I see the brook trout that got caught last year below Caney Fork Dam is up there on the left. So, Mike, when somebody thinks they have a record, what's the process?
Yes, they, need to contact us or get the application off our website.
Okay.
It's available.
All right.
Then they need to get a certified weight on the fish. And so they need to keep it on ice. And you can do that whether you want to try to keep it alive, fresh, frozen, but, whatever your timeline is. But, you've got to get it to certified scales. And most of those can be some of the supermarkets still will do that.
Okay.
Especially some of your local ones, got certified scales. And then you've got the farmers co-op, tractor supplies. Those usually will do it. Then you've got some of like the FedEx, UPS offices where you do packages, mail stuff. Some of those are doing it. And then we have in our region, regional offices.
Do taxidermists have certified scales?
Not
the ones I know don't.
Okay.
Not certain. No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
But I'm sure probably some do. But overall, I'm not aware that they do.
Yeah, that's probably the toughest part of it. But I have seen you. I saw you the other day out. You were doing a silver carp. We got a new state record, silver carp.
Yeah,
and it's a class.
It was class A.
Class A.
Mm-hmm.
He caught it on run reel.
Yes.
Really.
What was the bait of choice? Do you know?
What was it? It was he's got it on his application.
It was actually like a lure, though. He didn't snag it.
No, it caught it. I mean, it was in the mouth there.
Well,
now whether it got hooked, foul mouth, or whatever you want to call it, can't say. But he's applying with the IGFA for the line class.
And remember how big it was? We don't have it up there, I don't think.
32 pounds.
32 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big silver carp. So everybody's...
Is it not up there yet?
Oh, it may. Is it?
I haven't seen it, but
Okay.
We'll get it up there.
Okay.
That's all right. We'll get that up there. So Mike, all these things that some of them have withstood the test of time for a long time. I think of the smallmouth bass right off. It was caught in the mid 1950s. Is there another
Mr.
one?
Hayes.
Mr. Hayes, Dale Hayes. Is there one or two others that have stood that kind of test of time? The largemouth was old until 2 years ago.
Right.
It'd been out there for a long time too. Any others come to mind that are?
Well, the walleye. Walleye. It's
never to be beaten.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about the smallmouth myself, but we shall see. Of course, but.
That'd be interesting.
Anything's possible. Records are made to be broken, so.
And Mabry Harper had the world record walleye.
Yeah, that's right. That's also still considered a world record.
Is that it right there?
Yes, that's the wife. She's his wife is holding that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yes, that's the that is the official picture that they had taken.
I think that one is the most unique of all of them. I love the smallmouth. Comes from Tennessee and arguably Kentucky. But since we're the ones who fought to keep it a record, I consider it Tennessee. But that the 25-pound world record walleye came from Tennessee fascinates me.
Right there at Old Hickory.
Before
right
it
here
was,
in the backyard.
Before it was dammed, or I think. I might be wrong on that.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it was right there close.
Okay, all right. Early on in it, if it was. But it just, you don't, I mean, Tennessee is a walleye state, and because you guys upstairs are working so hard in the fisheries division to make it that way. But if I were coming, I think it would be from Minnesota or Wisconsin or somewhere up north. But here it is, right? Maybe Canada, but right here in Tennessee.
Right here. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, some of those, well, you know, same thing, you know, smallmouth. I thought it'd been a little further north.
Yeah.
You know, but, and then tilapia right there. That's another one that's really, you know, Old Hickory. Speaking of Old Hickory.
You wouldn't think about that.
That's 7. We've had about 7 tilapia come. The first tilapia that came in, it was broken. We had them in within 2 weeks. One came in, and then another one, you know, it came in
and
another
people are
pound.
saying, are you sure tilapia? There are a lot of folks that don't live in the Middle Tennessee area, of course. So why are tilapia in Old Hickory Lake?
Well, they have gotten more stout from, we believe, from the ponds, lakes, from in the tributaries.
Somehow
because we allow for private pond stocking tilapia to help for forage. We've even done it in some of our agency lakes.
They reproduce a lot.
Yes, a lot, and big time forage, especially for some of the Florida largemouth we had. So, and then we allowed it for some vegetation control in you know, in our private ponds. So, not knowing at the time, the feeling was, you know, they die out at the time. You know, it was the up 40s,
They're
mid 40s.
tropical fish.
Yeah, right.
It gets too cold for them.
They die out. You know, during the winter. If they evidently now, you know, they're finding some refuge, some habitat, spring, something to make it through the winters, you know.
Okay.
And
that's amazing.
So yeah, that's the.
Well, there happens to be a steam plant there.
So it's not that we have not stocked them.
Right.
You know, we hadn't
What
done any
made
of
you
that,
decide to make it a category? And that's another question. Do you occasionally create a new category? Like I know y'all did for tilapia. People were catching so many of them.
That's right. Because and I guess one of the ways we do that is if it's established fisheries. You know, it can be caught. It's here. So, you know, that's one of the criteria. You know, there's others. You know, we see what IGFA has listed, and then we, you know, check with the rest of the, you know, regional fisheries biologists and
what's
you know,
IGFA?
get their input. International Game Fish Association.
Okay.
They keep the world record. They keep the records, and there's 2 of them. There's one in Florida too, I think.
Well, that's the one in Florida. The other's in Wisconsin. Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame.
Wisconsin.
Yes, Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which, but since it was you know, it's a fisheries, they was being caught by, you know, the hundreds, people going up there and, you know, catching them. And they're great to eat. Well, you know, you see them in the store at $5-6 a pound.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, that's cool.
Speaking of good to eat, the silver carp are good to eat too.
Yes, they are.
Yes, that's true.
I wonder what he was going to do with that one, because they are delicious. I wonder if he's going to mount it or eat it.
Yes. This last one? Yeah. He, you know, it's funny. He's from Indiana, but him and his wife are starting to fish. Matter of fact, he said, you know, we love the fishing in Tennessee. Yeah, it's just great, the fisheries. So they've been fishing down here all over. But he's getting into some taxidermy. So he said his plans, because we wanted to cut it up and see if it was a female, you know, just to see right now. But he said, well, I think I'm gonna try to mount it. This will be my first one.
Well, why not?
So
that's
his plan. He's gonna give it a shot.
That is cool. You can see all these fish out on our website, TNWildlife.org.
Under 4 anglers.
Under 4 anglers. Don't confuse me.
4 anglers.
And it is right there, Mike. And the question was, I don't know if I let you finish or not. You have to identify a lot of these fish. So do you look at scales?
Yes, please.
Or what? How do you do that?
Yeah, thank you for that. So after they get it certified, you know, and certification, there's a place there for that scale operator owner, and then another witness besides the applicant. They've got to sign it and date it and all that. So it's on that application. And then the third thing is they need to contact the agency. And we've got the numbers, contact is on that application, but they've got to get a fisheries biologist from the agency to verify, look at, see that fish, to verify that it is that species.
You guys know how to key them out and look for the right number of fins or whatever, the rays on the fins and all that stuff.
Right, and then they've got to verify the length, verify the length of that fish and everything, and then they got to verify that it's nothing that says it can't be a state record fish, and then they send it to the fish division for the fish chief to review.
Okay, so find your certified scales and then find your certified biologist.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Okay, and go from there. And that information, call our agency. We'll talk to you if you're lucky enough to catch a state record fish. And my God, we only have about 5 minutes, so I want to move pretty quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about just real quick on aging. How do you age a fish? What do you look for when you're trying to find out old a bass is or crappie is, or what do you do?
Yeah. And, of course, our biologists are sampling out there. Matter of fact, the spring samples are coming in. We'll probably get 800, 1,000 different samples. But what it is, used to be the scales, used to be the old way with scales.
Looking under a microscope?
Well, we'd press the scales on a plastic slide, and it's a press roller, and then we'd look under microfish on a microfish screen, and you'd count it sort of like the rings of a tree.
Okay.
So you'd count, but some of the older fish, it could get tough and so forth. So, but now we use the odorless, also known as a ear stone, but it's in the inner ear. It sort of works like our inner ear, and tells the fish it's up vertical in the water and not upside down, and it's also it works along with a lateral line for vibrations in the water and hearing, very good. But we've got to extract that, so we've got to sacrifice the fish. But we only take just a few, so many per inch class, to give us a representation. But we take that out of the fish's head, and then I take that, dry them out for a couple of weeks, and then I look at them under a microscope, either in whole view, or I have to split them and sand them off, and then look under a microscope with a fiber optic light and count once again, it's like counting the rings of a tree. So,
wow,
interesting, and that's something we get. I'm going to run us out of TARP if I don't hurry, but and you have to do aging as part of your whole to determine the health of a reservoir and the fish in it, the fish in the reservoir.
Yeah, that's right.
Just part of it.
Yeah, it's just part of the whole thing of seeing how good the population's doing, growing. We get the mortality estimates. Once you get some good age and growth information too. So
okay, cool deal. That'd be worth getting you back in. We'll talk more at length. All right, there's a program called TARP, Tennessee Angler Recognition Program. You can get certificates for catching all these fish.
Hold those certificates up.
You can get patches. Tell us about it, Mike. What is TARP?
Okay, TARP, Tennessee Angler Recognition Program, and you may not catch that state record fish.
That's exactly right. But you catch a good one.
But you can catch one that is, it's memorable. It's a trophy to you. It's a record to you. But anyway, we've got 24 different species in the program, and you can, and it is, another application to submit, and it's $5 per fish. One of the 24, and there's an example of the certificate.
Great explanation of what it is, and this is not just for a kids thing. Adults are loving this.
Oh, it's we're closing in on about 6,000 TARP that we have, and yes, it's the ages are you see
right there.
Yeah, you can see some. But for any age, but then after that, you can. There's several other levels. Once you catch 5 in any combination, there's the Angler 1 certificate and a patch that you get with that, and this is free. Yeah, there's no charge for getting these.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then for 5 different of the species, you get a certificate patch, and so forth all the way to. We got number 3. This is 10 different species. And then we have the last one, the number 4. That's 15.
Go on our website.
TNWildlife.org.
Yeah, TN Wildlife. Mike, I shorted you on that, but I love the program, and we'll get you back on talk specifically about it. Okay. but you can get certificates and you get these patches and you catch all those fish. Man, I'm probably a master 7.
No comment on that one.